First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Matt Malone is a cyber security analyst with Vistrata, a company that offers a holistic approach to cybersecurity, including cybersecurity strategy, awareness training, and the list goes on. Testing as well, something we do here a lot of at Town Square. They're always testing us, sending us these emails that aren't real. And then, God forbid, if you click on it, you have to do a mandatory training. You got to do a course. You got to
waste of our time.
A new training. Yeah. Matt Malone, is that good stuff, right? They're trying to stay ahead of this problem.
It's better to be tested by somebody who's not going to hack you versus a hacker.
Yeah,
so, absolutely.
What is cyber insurance? Prior to today, I had never heard of that.
Oh, and a lot of companies haven't, and it's crazy because it is a lifesaver when stuff hits the fan. So, I mean, cyber insurance basically covers a data breach, whether it's an internal and external. It covers the costs of, the lawyers. I always tell people, protect against the hackers, but you should really fear the lawyers and the media, right? Because the media keeps you honest.
Yep.
The lawyers take your money. So anytime a data breach happens, people don't really think about what the additional costs are because, there's the cost of you lost a bunch of data, but now you have reporting laws. So like in New York, in 2005, they enacted the data breach laws, and basically you have to notify every single person that was affected within a certain period of time. Yeah. And if you don't do that, you start getting fined.
Right. Wow. Well, this is, this is the new issue that every company is dealing with. And you still are every once in a while getting, almost every week, there's some story out there of some municipality, a hospital, some big company that's had to pay to get their information back.
Yeah, with ransomware and everything else. and when those people, so ransomware, people don't realize that when someone does ransomware, they're not only locking up their systems, but the thing they do before they lock up those systems is they copy all the data. Right? So now there's somewhere on the dark web, there's your social security number, your driver's license, your date of birth, your credit card numbers, everything that you've given to that organization, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a business or whatever. Now that information is out on the dark web and somebody can buy it. I mean, just last year alone, I mean, the statistics have kind of skyrocketed, right? Because we've all started working from home. And that's the attack vector. I mean, that's what everybody would love is basically you can't communicate with the guy next door. So, the attackers have free reign.
Yeah. Does the insurance protect against, like if I lose my data and I thought it was going to be safe, so I then sue the company, does the insurance protect the company to be able to help pay out some of those damages and that sort of thing?
Yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest with you. Not a lot of people sue the companies.
Right.
The biggest kind of cost is you now have to bring in. So you have to bring in a forensics person. You have to bring in all these security consultants. They have to drop everything they're doing. They got to run to the fire, and all of that starts costing money. And then on top of it, and people don't realize this, and every consumer should know this. This is critically important. You have the option. If somebody gets hacked, if you got a letter in the mail that says, hey, your data was breached, if you call that company, they'll give you basically cyber protection.
Like LifeLock or something,
years. Like LifeLock, for about 2 years.
Yep.
So it's critically important, but all of that costs that company money, including all the lawyers, because it now becomes a legal thing where you have to, do data notification laws and things like that. So what the insurance does is it allows the company to get paid for those things and to cover those costs. And it's I've seen on small businesses especially, if they don't do it, it's a sunk. I mean, because the average just a normal cost of an incident is about $3 million.
Wow. Where do you get where do you get cyber? Where would you go to get cyber insurance? Geico? I don't know.
Well, whoever your insurance company is.
Oh, okay.
So if you call them, and here's another thing that companies have to realize. When you go to file cyber insurance, it's the same thing. Think of your medical insurance. So they're going to ask you the health of your network. They're going to say, hey, do you have security policies in place? Do you have an incident response plan? Well, IT organizations are terribly notorious for, obviously if you ask me if I'm in shape, I would say yes.
Sure.
If you ask my doctor, he would probably say no.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I can relate.
Been inside of a gym for 2 years.
Right.
So it's critically important to pay attention to what you're actually filling out on those forms. And if you utilize your IT department to kind of fill them out, they can sometimes get you in hot water when the incident happens.
Yep. Okay.
So those are kind of some of the key takeaways. But it's also important to kind of have a strategy, because if you have kids or something and you take off for the weekend, you have a babysitter, you leave with that babysitter all the emergency contact information, where the local hospital is, all that stuff.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Same sort of thing should happen with your business on an incident response. Mm-hmm. Who's your local FBI contact? At what point do you have to call the FBI and on an investigation?
Yep.
When do you have to call the local police? So having a plan and a strategy with somebody what I do is I go in and I do tabletops for them. And you walk through those scenarios, because I'll tell you, in incident response, it's something that I love. I hate it when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's like a gun to the back of your head, stress out the wazoo. But when you get done, you feel like you've really done something. Mm-hmm. You've helped an organization, because it can ruin a company quick.
Pretty amazing. All right, Matt, we appreciate it. Cyber insurance. Just talk to your normal business insurance company. Cyber insurance. Interesting. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it. We'll do it again.
All right. You have a great day.
You do the same. Thanks. Matt Malone. It's crazy. You got to have insurance for that now? And, what does it end up covering? I feel like once something happens, you're fighting with the insurance company to try to get paid on everything. But I think this is something all companies are facing.
Well, and there's really no insurance for some of the information that's lost or released or compromised.
But I would say though that they're, like you mentioned, LifeLock. Great. That's a great thing to have. I think that's the one where the guy comes out and he does the commercial and he gives his Social Security number out.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He said, it doesn't matter. You can have my Social Security number. I have LifeLock, or whatever he created. And it might not be LifeLock, but that's the same type of company. And anytime there's a data breach of any sort, even if your credit report is checked, you get a notification from LifeLock. They let you know something's going on. So it might be a good company to take a look at for personal protection. Interesting.